Assalamu alaikum. In this video tutorial, we're going to learn about how to write a story. As you know, stories could be of different natures. You could write a funny story, comic one, or you could also write a suspenseful story. What you're going to learn today is how can we write a suspenseful story. In our daily lives, every day we read. Sometimes we read the stories. Some of the stories really appeal to us, and others do not appeal to us. Some of the stories we start reading, but we do not complete those stories. But some of the stories are written in a way that they keep us intriguing about the situations. We keep predicting about the events. There's a lot of suspense created, and we don't leave the book unless we complete reading the story. So, what are the qualities of a story that really makes the reader intriguing, that makes the reader keep guessing, and that keeps the reader busy in a way that he doesn't leave the course of the action and he leaves the book when the story is complete. In order to make a story really suspenseful, we need to track few of the things, like use different types of sentences. We discussed before, we could use simple and short sentences, we could use compound sentences, we could use complex sentences. Usually, in writing suspense stories, because the reader is most interested in the actions, so we prefer using the short sentences. There's a variety of sentences that we could use, but most sentences could be written short. However, it doesn't mean at all that we are not going to use compound and complex sentences. But when you write short sentences, they create suspense, like heart pounded or time ticked. Certain questions can be asked to the readers. The reason for asking the question is to involve the reader into the course of the action. Because reader is somebody sitting far away with no relation with the characters and the setting. That's so questions is a way that we involve the reader. We ask the questions and the reader feels that he's a part of the story, as he's a character, he's involved. So it creates a sense of belonging. We use powerful verbs. If somebody talks loud, rather than we say somebody talked loudly, we could say somebody cried. Let's say the word somebody slammed the door rather than saying that somebody closed the door angrily. One of the very important features of writing is that you are able to touch any of the senses of the reader, or you could use all your senses. You write in a way that appeals to the reader's senses. It could appeal to the reader's sense of sight. It could appeal to the reader's sense of taste, sense of smell, or any other sense. Like you are describing something, and your what description or what selection is in a way that the reader is really painting the picture in his mind what you are describing. So it's not only the reading, but he is sketching what you have written already. That's also the characteristic of the story, and especially the suspense stories. When you are writing suspense stories, you create a lot of suspense. You're writing about some scene at night where there's a lot of thundering, there's a lot of lightning. So that lightning, sound of the lightning is is appealing to the reader's sense of hearing. And when you show the lightning thundering, so thundering, the sound of the thundering, and then lightning and the darkness, he could imagine the darkness. So all these things are useful techniques that you use that appeal to the reader's senses. A lot of adjectives and adverbs are used, as we are familiar with. Adjectives and adverbs are modifiers, so they modify. If adjectives modify noun, that means they provide more information. So you are using descriptive writings. Similarly, when you use a lot of descriptive words or adverbs to show how the actions are done or how in what manners people are talking, in what manner people are behaving, in what manner people are acting, in what manner people are reacting to different situations, all these help build great suspense. And to make your story more appealing to the reader, few other techniques can also be used. Like you can use hyperbole, We exaggerate, similes, metaphors, personification, and alliteration could also be used.